Chapter 53. How to rid your home of ghosts who only materialize as front halves of skulls poking through the front covers of books. That's what I needed. Good morning, mask lovers and Halloween collectors and haunters and other persons of interest, as they call us, down at the police station. Good to see you. Come on in, pull up a coffin, and sit down. It's time for a little bit of mask talk once again on Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. That's right, I'm Ernest T. Bass, and today's mask is one to get excited about, I think. This thing is so scary, and let me preface this by saying one thing that we do, and we all do it, and I do it too, and I shouldn't, and it's very rude and stupid, and we should all stop doing it, but we can't because it's the way human brains, and mine, are hardwired. We look for familiarity in things, and we compare things to other things, and some people take that to an obnoxious extreme by feeling clever when they think of something that something else reminds them of, so they go, oh, that's a copy of this thing that I saw and I recognize it, so I'm smart. And we're not always quite thinking in those terms, but some people are thinking that or are trying to project that even, and it can sound very rude even when it's innocent. And I know because I've been on both ends of it many times. Anything that you can think of, someone else can think of it too, and very likely already has. Whether it's a monster design or a joke or whatever it may be, people have similar, ideas. But if you look at somebody's mask and say, "Oh, that reminds me of Creature from the Black Lagoon," well, you may mean that even as a compliment because maybe the Creature from the Black Lagoon is your favorite monster, and you mean it in a good way, like, "Oh, that's so good, it's like the Creature from the Black Lagoon." But you have to be careful because the artist might hear, "Oh, you just copied the Creature from the Black Lagoon. You just ripped it off." So sometimes it can sound like you are deliberately diminishing or belittling or casting asparagus upon the intentions of the artist, but it doesn't always mean that. And a lot of times people post, "Oh, that mask looks like this other mask." Yeah, sometimes it does, but there are only so many ways in the universe that a mask can look, really. Why am I saying all that this time? Well, because I'm about to indulge in a little bit of that, and I think I'm justified. I think it's okay. This mask reminds me of the Creep from the Creep Show TV series, who's a host that, well, he doesn't do anything really. He doesn't talk, he doesn't interact, he doesn't really introduce the stories. He just shows up in the Creep Show TV series like they don't know what to do with him. But this reminds me a lot of that, and I think it's okay because I think they were going for a similar vibe. I don't think I'm going to hurt anyone's feelings by mentioning the similarity. I hope not, but that's what this mask, the Wraith, that's W-R-A-I-T-H, Wraith. That's what this mask reminds me of, is the Creep from the Creep Show television series. And of course there were creeps before, because the original Creep Show had the rotted skull with the eye smiling on the movie poster, and then had the ghost called Raoul in the window. Anyway, this doesn't really look like any of those specific guys, but it definitely looks like he graduated in the same high school class and was buried in the same cemetery. I think the Wraith, a mask from the Horror Dome, I think the Wraith is actually scarier than the Creep from Creep Show. I think he does a better job than the real ghost does. Look at this thing. This is one of those few masks, one of those rare masks out there that I believe is so scary, some people might have a problem with even looking at it. And I'm impressed by that. I can imagine some people thinking, I can't sleep with that thing in the room, or in the house, or on the block, or anything. People might have to put a bag over it, or put it in a box or something, or, put it at the neighbor's house just to be able to sleep. It's so creepy. And a lot of masks are cool and fun and kind of creepy, but man, this guy takes creepitude right to the next level, I think. I think he goes above and beyond in terms of creepiness. Now, he's got this gauzy hood here that's sort of, it's It's a little bit stiffer than just the fabric would be because they've added some gray paint or tint of some sort to it that makes it a little bit stiffer. But he's got this gray gauzy shroud, and I think you can see about how much mask there is there. And then there's a nice elastic strap in the back. But the thing that's amazing about him is that face! Man, that's scary, isn't it? Look at those eyes. And I've not done anything to this. I always try to remember to tell you if I have added shading or highlighting or changed the hair or done anything to these. No, this is straight out of the box. These cost about 75 bucks. And you might be thinking, oh, 75 bucks, that's a little high. But I'm going to say he's worth it because he's kind of deluxe. What with the hood being so perfectly chosen and, you know, pretty well made and applied and very well designed to fit the character perfectly. You've got a little bit of hair on there for you. And again, you saw just then the shiny teeth and eyes and nose and that with the gloss, the shinola going on there. Gotta love that. Now this mask came out in 2020, which pretty much explains his facial expression, don't you think? Yeah. Came out in 2020 and is still available from Horror Dome for about 75 bucks. And oh, he's got ears. I should show you. Did you see that? He's got ears. Let me pull this back. Okay, so he comes back farther than some hooded masks. Some hooded masks stop, you know, short of that, but this guy comes far enough back. And I called him a guy just now. Could potentially maybe be a female character, I guess. I guess you could use this as a female character. There's a bit of Velcro that holds that together at the bottom. I guess this could be a female character. If I was going to use it as a female character, I'd probably put more hair, put a cheap wig on there so it was more obvious that it's supposed to be a female. Other than that, he says if I wanted to be a female character, why don't I just buy a female mask? Well, okay, but I'm just thinking out loud there, Wraith, you know, about what people could do with this. What a super scary face and a beautifully sculpted and well-made thing it is from the Horror Dome's 2020 lineup. And I like the Wraith a lot. I think he's one of the scarier masks of recent years, even. He's so scary. And anything that scary deserves 3 thumbs up from us here at Horror Hotel. And you know, I think I was the first guy to call a rubber mask Wraith, because one that I sculpted way back in the 1980s. That's right, when dinosaurs ruled the earth. I used that word for the name of one of my masks. I'm not saying I made up the word. It was always a word. Well, not always, but for a very long time it was a word. It's another word for ghost. But I was the first one to use it on a mask, and then in recent years a number of masks have been called Wraith. Now, one reason I think I'm justified in comparing this Wraith to the Creep is that on the tag it says Wraith, and it also has another title, Graveyard Creep. So his other name is Graveyard Creep, but I think really what you're going to look for is Wraith, W-R-A-I-T-H, when you're looking for this guy. But spectacularly nice mask, and I don't know if you could see, he's even slobbering. He's got a little bit of saliva running down his mouth that just adds to it. And eye cuts are right above his very scary and intense staring eyes. So where you're looking out of is right above the eyes. The one that I called Wraith back in the day actually didn't look anything like this. And back then, even though that was a word, it wasn't that widely known as it is now, but it's always been a synonym for ghost. So whether you like ghosts, wraiths, spooks, specters, what? Oh, he says every collection should have a wraith. Yeah, well, okay, every collection should. What do you mean wraiths are traditionally better than zombies? No, I wouldn't go there. I don't think you could. No, but he says wraiths deserve better treatment than zombies or ghosts or ghouls or specters or shades. Really? You think that's? No. I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you come on here and encourage wraithism. You're a wraithist. That's what you are. He says that's why we don't have freedom of speech in this country.